Hi, welcome back everyone. So today we are going to be going around the garden, doing a lot of cutting back and deadheading. It's good to keep the garden nice and tidy, but equally it's nice to prolong the growing season as long as possible to see us through right through August to make sure that our gardens are looking at their best. Okay, so I have my snippers, just very small ones so you can get into the little areas to give everything a nice snip. You can use your secateurs or you can use some scissors, just normal scissors. As long as it's sharp and cuts it nice and cleanly, that's all you need. The other thing I go around with is just a small tug or a bucket, anything that you can catch all your debris in. Otherwise, you'll be forever tidying as you go. So let's get started. Okay, here we have the Phlox Bright Eyes. Um, some of you may have watched a previous video where I did a Chelsea chop. It's just a cutback that we do here in the UK in May to coincide with the Chelsea flower show here in the UK. I did a half a chop, that's what I call it, a half a chop. Um, these flowers were allowed to just grow and continue, and they have already now died back. And these ones were cut lower so we can extend the flowering period of perennials. So I'm going to take these back. Sometimes they do give me a small flush of flowers. So when you cut back, we may have for the next couple of weeks some very small blooms coming out. So again, it will give me another flush. So all you want to do with these is find a healthy growth to cut back to. So I'll just do one here. That's as much as you want to take off, just to the bloom. Okay, just a close up so you could see. So here I go. I get down to the next healthy bud here. And take that off. It's always quite sad when you cut back blooms, but you can clearly see now why I cut the back earlier on in the spring, so around May time. I did a cutback of the front and left the back, so now I've still got the front going, whereas if I had left them all on their own, I wouldn't have any flowers in this section. So give it a go maybe next year to see whether you want to do the Chelsea chop. Okay, we have some more phlox here, so I'm just going to clean this one up and then we'll move on probably to the dahlias next. Okay, I just want to show you something very quickly. So I've taken off the tops of this phlox and there are some side shoots here growing. And it's here that I hope to have a small flush of second blooming. fingers crossed that will happen, because you can see where I've cut here and underneath are some new growth, and it looks like it has the potential to give me another flush, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Lots to do with the dahlias. As you know, I have quite a few here on my deck. There's lots and lots of dahlias to cut back. I'll just show you which ones I'm going to do, because dahlias, the spent buds are one shape, and then the coming buds, or those that have yet to bloom, are another shape. So it's important you get the right one. Okay, just to illustrate, so this one's obviously finished blooming, and you can see that once the petals are going to go, it will close up and create more of a cone-like bud. So if we look at this one here, you can clearly see that that is more of a cone shape, and this next to it is very round. So you can see the two together clearly. This one's yet to bud, to bloom, and this one has already finished blooming. And again, this one has finished, cone shape, and this one has still yet to open. Okay, again, cone, another cone, and another one. So lots to cut, and then lots to leave well alone. These small ones have yet to open. Okay, let's get started. The other important thing to note is all three of these, so it's 1, 2, 3 stems, have all finished blooming. So you need to go down to the next healthiest set of leaves. Okay, so I've taken all of those off, and I'll show you where I've cut it down to. So you can see that's where I made the cut, and I have some hopeful blooms to come from these sections. So this one here, for example, there are 3 sections there. One has a bud yet to bloom, and then these 2 have finished. So I shall take only the 2 stems here off and leave the 1 stem, this one, on. There we are, that one's done. Okay, so I'm going to cut back these geraniums. They finished flowering, but usually geraniums do keep coming back. The more you deadhead, the more they come out, and I can see some fresh growth just behind. So I'll clean these up and show you what it looks like. So you can see just behind there's a few buds yet to open, and here as well. I could cut them all back, but if there's still some blooms on there, I'll just maybe pick off some of the dead ones. Okay, I'm going to take some of these dead leaves as well, and that's just to increase the air circulation. See, these leaves are dying back, so just keep taking out the yellow ones. It will just increase the flowering period and keep everything nice and neat. I find this quite therapeutic. It's nice every so often just to come out and tidy as I go along. But I've been quite busy this week, so I've not had the chance to do this. It's also worth noting sometimes I just keep my snippers near the back door, and when I've got 5 minutes I'll just come out and quickly remove some of the dead plants or the flowers or the leaves and so on. With the fuchsias, just lift this pot up. With the fuchsias, I don't deadhead those. What I do is just give them a shake and everything falls off, anything that's dead. Okay, very next task is my cage, which has really overgrown. Some of it looks okay and some of it looks absolutely awful. So I'm going to cut this back really hard. Okay, so I cut this right back. I'll probably cut a little bit more off. I've taken off some of the leaves from the fuchsia because they are looking a little bit worse for wear here. It's easy just to take off with your fingernails. For those of you who have strong fingernails, I don't, but fuchsia stems are quite soft, so that's okay. Yeah, I'll probably cut more of that off at the back. At the front, I have just deadheaded some of these just to keep it neat and tidy, and that will probably give me another flush. These are the spent blooms here. I'll just cut it back down to the healthiest set of leaves there. Okay, I'll tidy all this area up. Okay, the next thing to do is to take off some of these leaves from the Musabaziu here. I'll take that one off. This one here and one at the back, just to give it a tidy up. Because if you look down the bottom, you can already see some new baby ones coming out. So it's good to keep everything nice and healthy. Okay, for this job I've got my slightly larger secateurs here. The job would be better done if I had a really nice knife that could cut gently across, and it's on my purchase list. There you go, simple. Take that off there, it will heal over. Okay, generally I leave my hosta stems alone because even if you have just a small amount of flowers, lots of insects like to still take the nectar from inside. So I will leave those that are still slightly open, but I'll take these back because there are no flowers there at all. Again, you can leave them. These you don't have to take out at all. It makes no difference to the plant, but I just like to keep it neat and tidy. Now, with these campanulas, there's probably seeds within each one. What I tend to do is I'll find a position in the garden in which I want some campanula plants, and I'll give it a vigorous shake so that the seeds will drop off in the garden. Okay, another good thing to do at this time of year is to cut back on your lavender. So I'll just take one off here. So these obviously are the spent flower heads. All of these can be snipped off. It just revigorates the lavender and prepares it for new growth in the coming spring, next spring. So it's a good time to do this. You can also, of course, do that in the spring, whichever suits you. There we are, quite satisfying, but I must add, if I had a bigger hedge, I definitely would not be snipping away like that. I would literally just give it a good firm chop. It's a small pot, and it's beautiful to sit here and smell the lavender as and when you're cutting it. My hands absolutely smell divine. It's a shame we can't have smell-o-vision so that you can experience what I'm experiencing. But if you have lavender in your garden, do give it a go, just a couple of snips here and there. Smell your hands after, it's just amazing. That one done. Okay, here I have some lemon balm. It makes great tea, but you can see it's going to flower. So what I do is cut it back hard, and I'll get a fresh amount of growth in the next couple of weeks, and then I pick the ends because they make the sweetest bit of the tea. Okay, I know that looked quite brutal, but it isn't. It will come back really nice and strong. Okay, so I have salvia here. These spires really do need to be cut back. You may get a second flush. This is a salvia called Caradonna. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do hope you found this a useful and informative video. If you want to join me for my future videos, please do subscribe and click the bell button, as well as the thumbs up, and any comments are always appreciated. Take care now. Bye.